This is Exodus 23:2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment. I'd like to start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahawashi, Call Haloim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahawashi, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad, the Akim and the Akwat that's listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing that the lesson is edifying. It's the brother Shawab Amawan back at you with another lesson. And going into the title, all right. While Yah prepared turkeys, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, is preparing judgment. All right. And as we all know, today is Thanksgiving Eve. Okay. And you got a lot of people right now that are literally preparing, judgment for themselves. All right. Whether it be them, gathering together at homes, going to the club with their friends, gathering, their families together. All right. At the end of the day, what you truly are doing is gathering yourself judgment through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right. And that's why the Lord said not to follow the multitude. All right. He also told you not to follow after the heathen. Okay. Let's grab that. This is, what is that? Isaiah. This is, give me 1 second. This is, damn, what the heck? This is Jeremiah 10:2, and it says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, okay? And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them, all right? And our people have learned the ways of the heathen, man. This is why they follow the multitude to do evil, all right? They go after the traditions of men, all right? Let's grab that. This is Colossians 2:8, I believe. This is Colossians 2:8. And it says, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Yahawashi HaMashiach. You see? So through all these different types of, philosophies and vain deceits, all right, which come from Esau, man, these are all traditions of men. All these holidays that our people are preparing for, you see, you done just served Halloween. Now they're ready to prepare themselves for Thanksgiving. All right, next is going to be Christmas. All right, after that's going to be New Year's Eve. See, these are all traditions of men. You see, rudiments after the of the world. All right, and the Lord said, if you are of the world, all right, that the love of the Father is not in him, man. Love not the world, nor the things in it. Okay, let's grab that. This is John. Second John, actually, First John 2:15. And it says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. Okay? And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof. But he that doeth the will of Yahweh abideth forever. You see? So, you know, these different holidays are all worldly holidays, man. See, the Lord gave us our own holidays to celebrate, all right? After the traditions of Yahawashi. You see, but none of our people want to do that. They all want to go into the ways of the heathen. See, they find the ways of the heathen more exciting than Yahawashi's way. Okay? And that's why the Lord is pretty much ending all of this right now. All right, let's grab a couple videos real quick. And Salaki, I'm not able to get on my other two channels at the same time because they done just kicked me off of
They told you Thanksgiving was peace and unity, but for us it was bloodshed and betrayal. Our people were wiped out while the world celebrates the lie every year.
All right.
They do not teach you that
Salakia. Yeah, they knocked me off of my stream, yard. I gotta pay for it now. Which I was paying for it before, but I was paying $10. Now they want me to pay $50. Showing you that these devils is making it harder and harder for us to be able to, you know, do anything on the web. Okay. So let me grab this. Let me grab these real quick. Give me 1 second. All right.
Fucking hospital fighting for your motherfucking life. Y'all are not gonna learn. Y'all not gonna learn until y'all are halfway there, laid up in somebody's motherfucking hospital fighting for your motherfucking life. Y'all are not gonna learn. We are telling y'all to cancel these holidays for a reason. I done seen probably 2 to 3 videos of people showing me fake fucking yams. Yeah, plastic fucking yams that they are buying and preparing to cook for their family for Thanksgiving. These people are poisoning your food. They've been doing this. But right now, they're doing it 10 times worse. Why, you say? Because we have awakened. And they don't like that. And none of their other tactics are working. So now they're poisoning the food way more than they usually were. Especially for this holiday. That all of y'all are out in these stores shopping and buying this fake ass fucking poison ass food to put in your body and to put in your kids' body. These people are trying to eliminate you. But yet y'all are still wrapped up in the matrix still and brainwashed and still want to celebrate their holidays because that is not our holiday. That holiday is not for us. That holiday celebrates fucking genocide. I don't know how many times I gotta say this. I don't know how many times I gotta come up on this platform and give y'all reasons and show y'all why the fuck y'all need to start being fucking careful and start preparing yourself. Stop living like there's not a threat in this fucking world for us. We have more threats than anybody else walking this fucking earth, but yet y'all keep letting y'all fucking guard down. Stay the fuck out these stores. Stay the fuck out these stores. Buying this shit to feed to your fucking family. Get a fucking normal meal and call it a normal fucking day. Stop celebrating these fucking holidays before your ass end up laid up in somebody's fucking hospital. I'm only saying this because I give a fuck. Because if I didn't give a fuck, I would sit back and just watch the shit happen to y'all. But I'm not gonna let my people fall short again. So I'm going to keep on saying what the fuck I need to say on this fucking platform until y'all get it through y'all thick ass skulls. Wake up.
And what's funny is, I mean, Eve had a point, but Eve now trying to sound like she's been telling you for the longest. You know, the elders and apostles been telling you for years, you know, all the way down to the prophets. You know, we've been telling you this for years to get away from these damn holidays, man. And like she said, you're representing and celebrating a whole genocide that they committed, all right, amongst our people, okay? Because you see, you had these devils, right? Well, how did we get out here to America? All right, we got out here through the Assyrian Empire, right? In captivity. The Northern Kingdom was the first ones to come into captivity, right? And get brought over here to the Americas. Okay, and then eventually you had Judah through the transatlantic slave trade that ended up coming over here also. All right, but let's grab this real quick. All right, this is 2nd Ezra's 14th chapter and Salakia in the 13th chapter. This is 13 and 40, and it says, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, who Salmanasar the king of Assyria led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. Okay, it says, but they took this counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt, that they might there keep their statutes which they never kept in their own land. And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow places of the river. For the Most High Yahawashi then showed signs for them and held still the flood they were passed over, till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Azareth. All right, and when you go into that word Azareth, all right, especially when you go through the Jewish encyclopedia, okay, it tells you what Azareth was, man. Azareth was also known as America, okay, known as America today, Babylon the Great. All right, so basically what happened was, in the time, all right, when we was in captivity, the northern kingdom, all right, to Salmanasar the king of Assyria, all right, we were carried over those waters, and the Lord literally kept those waters, you know, still for a reason. You see, because that was it took them a year and a half to get over here, literally a whole year and a half. Okay, and when you go into a map, all right, the way they came about, let me just grab a map real quick. Map of the world. All right, when you go into the map, let me just grab a simple, easy one. All right, let's see if I can blow this one up. It's gonna be a little hard too. All right, but basically what you had right here was, we came out of this side right here, and we came down through this side close, all right, to the back end of Africa, okay, and then came underneath, and eventually we came all the way through here, all right, and ended up where the Americas were. Okay, let me open that up even bigger. All right, we ended up all the way out here by like the Dominican Republic, all right, by Puerto Rico, all right, where the Caribbean is basically. All right, so it took us a whole year and a half, again, you know, to get from there, and then we came all the way from down here, all right, all the way down here underneath Africa, okay, and then around the back part to the Euphrates. The Euphrates is right over here. All right, so that's how we ended up in the Americas, the Northern Kingdom. All right, and then you had basically, all right, you had Christopher Columbus, which he was always infatuated with the book of Esdras, okay, and basically him reading the scriptures and being infatuated with the scriptures, all right, he ended up bringing 12 Hebrew translators over to the Americas, all right, one of them being Luis de Torres, all right, and he brought him over. And why would he need 12 Hebrew translators, man? Because that's the language that we spoke in those days, man, Hebrew, okay, and him being infatuated with 2nd Esdras, all right, which in his time they will call it fourth Esdras, all right, but we know it as 2nd Esdras. He was so infatuated with wanting to know if the Northern Kingdom was already here in the Americas. All right. And it came to be that when he did land over there by, the Caribbean, all right, which he landed first in Dominican Republic, all right, and then Puerto Rico after that. Okay. He realized that, yeah, Second Ezra was actual it was by prophecy, it was legit, you see. And that's what this devil did, man. He came and he slaughtered our people. All right. As a matter of fact, I grabbed a little bit from the chat. All right, not too much, but let me see what I screenshotted out of there. This was I had put in how many Indians did Christopher Columbus slaughter, right? Which they wasn't going to give you too much info on that. It said there's no precise number of how many indigenous people Christopher Columbus himself slaughtered, because deaths came from a mix of violence, forced labor, starvation, and disease. And that's exactly what this devil came here to do, man. All right, which he came over here at the time as a Spaniard, basically. Okay, this is how we ended up with Spanish names. All right, and it says a mixture of violence, all right, forced labor, starvation, and disease. All right, and disease came from the white man, the so-called white man, you see. And records from the late 1400s are incomplete and biased, but historians agree the impact was catastrophic. What we can say with confidence, it says when Christopher Columbus arrived in 1492, the population of the island of Hispaniola, all right, modern day Haiti and Dominican Republic, is estimated at 250,000 to over 1 million Taino people. By 1510 and 1550 through 1550, the population had collapsed to a few thousand or nearly zero. You see? So we have millions of Taino people here, man. Okay, which Tainos is really where the Puerto Ricans, the tribe of Ephraim, all right, come from. You see, that's why when you go to Dominican Republic, and you go to Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic, they got a big they got one big statue. Matter of fact, let me see if I could get a picture of that real quick. All right, they got a big statue of the three boats, the Pinta, the Santa Maria statue. Hold on. Statue in Dominican Republic of the three boats Christopher Columbus had.
There isn't a statue in the Dominican Republic that shows all
then it might
three
be
of
in the one in
ships.
Puerto Rico.
However, there is a statue of Columbus in Park Colón in Santo Domingo.
Okay. That's a damn lie, because this is the boat right here that I'm talking about. Oh, I guess that's what it is. My bad. It was a statue, all right, that had the three flags on it representing the three different boats. All right, the Santa Maria, the Pinta, and I forgot the last one. Okay. And that's in Puerto Rico. Okay. See, as a matter of fact, that's a better one right there. You see, there's a whole boat with Christopher Columbus on it. Okay. And that is in Puerto Rico. Okay. And then I guess in Dominican Republic, they have a statue, which is this one, okay, of Christopher Columbus. All right, what I believe, is that a child? Give me 1 second. Let me zoom that in better. There you go. Nah, that wasn't a child next to it. It's just a little where you hang your anchor off of. You basically wrap it up. Okay. But you have a Indian at the bottom, you see, and going up to him like if he was their savior, you see. So what this devil did, man, and then when he came to the Americas, going into North America, you already had Gad, all right, also in the Americas, okay. And what did he do? He came and he slaughtered them, all right, going into the Trail of Tears, different types of accounts, man. This devil, that's what he was meant for him to do, man. Bring genocide to the world, man. All right, to our people at the end of the day, which was the Lord bringing, that sword, You know, that rod, that Assyrian, as the scriptures tell you. Let me grab that real quick. And Isaiah 10. All right, we bring these scriptures out over and over and over again for a reason, man. All right, this is Isaiah 10:5, and it says, "O Assyrian, the rod of mine anger, and the staff in their hand is mine indignation. I will send him against an hypocritical nation, against the people of my wrath. Will I give him a charge to take spoil and to take the prey and to tread them down like the mire in the streets." All right, and we know that the Lord, every time he was infuriated with our people, okay, he will hand us over to our enemies. Okay, let's grab that real quick. I'll grab it. Let me grab one from Judith 5, and I'll go straight to the point. This is 20. It says, "Now therefore, my Lord and governor, if there be any error against this people, and they sin against their power, which is the Israelites, let us consider this, that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up and we shall overcome them." And that's how these other nations always dealt with us, man. They knew, all right, these other nations knew that when we didn't serve Yahawashi in the correct manner, that they were able to have an advantage over us always, man. That's why all these nations had their hand in the cookie jar when it came to our slavery, man, because we were off. We were constantly sinning before our maker. You see, it says, "But now are they returned to their power, and we come up and are come up from the places where they were scattered, and have possessed Jerusalem, where their sanctuary is, and are seated in the hill country, for it was desolate." All right. Ooh, Salaka, I read that. I read one up. That's all right, though. "Now, therefore, my Lord and governor, if there be any error against this people, and they sin against their power, let us consider that this will be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them. But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord Yahawashi defend them, and their power be for them, and we become a reproach before all the world." Okay. And that, again, that's what the Lord would do. He would defend us, man. When we did the right thing, the Lord would defend us. But when we did wickedly, man, the Lord sold us on to our enemies. All right. This is Baruch 4:6. And it says, "Ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because ye moved Yahweh to wrath. Ye were delivered unto the enemies. For we provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils, and not to Yahweh B'Shem Yahawashi. You have forgotten the everlasting power that brought you up, and ye have grieved Jerusalem that nursed you." You see? So, you know, this is why we always ended up in some type of captivity, man. Because we will always turn back to these heathens, man. Follow the multitude to do evil. Okay? Just like we're doing today. Just like right now, people are preparing for this whole Thanksgiving. All right? Again, when all they did was just commit genocide and slaughter all your brothers and sisters, man. Okay, right before the sight of the Lord. All right. So let me go back into that little chat, see what else I had in there. All right. So it says, how did this happen? It said under Columbus's governorship, all right, 1493 to 1500, and the system he established, indigenous people were forced into brutal labor in gold mines and plantations. Okay, those who resisted were mutilated and executed. All right, entire villages were massacred. You see, it says Europeans introduced diseases like smallpox, which indigenous people had no immunity to. Yeah, because we was living off the earth. You know, we were eating that good stuff from the land. Okay. But see, as soon as the so-called white man came around, all right, and all these other nations, here it is, we start dying. We start dying in numbers. Okay. It says estimated deaths linked to Columbus and early Spanish rule. It says most modern historians estimate 200,000 to 1 million Taino deaths on Hispaniola alone within a few decades. All right, and it's definitely more than that. Way more than that. See, they just being nice on this damn chat right now. Okay, it says, while Columbus did not personally kill all these people, which is a lie, most of them killed under his rulership, man. He might have not killed them with their hands, but under his rulership, they killed. His policies and rule directly enabled that system that caused their destruction. So the honest historical answer is Columbus did not personally kill millions, all right, which is a lie, but the system he created led to the near extinction of entire indigenous populations in the Caribbean. So he didn't kill the millions, but his system, all right, led to the near extinction. Damn near all of them gone. And when you look at how much land these devils have taken from, here it was that the whole North America belonged to Gad, Reuben, all right, to the Northern Kingdom, you see, and now they own a little Indian reservation all the way by fucking Wyoming, I think it is. It's like the smallest little Indian reservation where there's nothing left that they own. See, the ones that are not supposed to be here, the true immigrant is these damn devils, man. The true immigrant, all right, is the so-called white man and all these other nations that are here, because this is not their land. You see, this was Gad's land. This was Reuben's land. All right, this was damn near the whole, you know, the whole Northern Kingdom's land. All right, and it was stripped away from them, which that was a curse. All right, let me grab that real quick in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. All right, just Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. And let me see. We know from 15 down to 68, right? The Lord said that if you didn't obey his ways, right, you will be cursed, and these curses will follow you and pursue you till death. Okay. And one of the curses were, let me see if I find it. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to find it. I mean, there's a couple of them are saying pieces of it, but I believe it was one whole one that says that you have a. We could grab this one. It says the fruit of the. This is 33. It says the fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed away. You see. In the NLT, it says a foreign nation you have never heard about will eat the crops you work so hard to grow. You will suffer under constant oppression and harsh treatment. Okay. And by that happening, they had to take over your whole entire land, man. Okay. It says, let me see what else. Let's grab this one. This is 36. It says, the Lord Yahweh shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone. You see, this is why you got our people under strong delusion today. Shalom, this is why you got, you know, our people serving these different gods and idols today, man, because they're still under that same curse. Okay. It says, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all the nations, whether the Lord shall lead thee. All right. This is why we're called, you know, different types of names, niggas, spicks, okay, wetbacks. They called you Indians, you know, savages. All right. It says, thou shalt carry much seed out into the field and shalt gather but little in, for the locust shall consume it. All right. It says, thou shalt plant vineyards and dress them, but shalt neither drink of the wine nor gather the grapes, for the worm shall eat it. All right. Yeah, you have all these different vineyards. All right. And here it was that you were pretty much, you know, you had to teach these damn Indians, man. I mean, not these Indians, these damn pilgrims. All right. These damn so-called Edomites. I mean, so-called white people that are Edomites, right? They were, they didn't know how to do none of these things. And our people were teaching them how to grow crops, you know, how to survive off the land, you know, and then they just turned around and stabbed you right in the back for everything that you had. Okay, and here it is. These niggas want to go make, you know, a whole Thanksgiving turkey, all right, and go sit down and hold hands and sing Kumbaya with each other, all right, and want to throw a bunch of prayers up to not even the right power, man. You see? It says, thou shalt have olive trees throughout all the coast, and thou shalt not anoint thyself with oil, for thine olive shall cast its fruit. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. Yeah, because what happened as soon as these devils came over here, man? They done took all your women. They took all your children. You see? They were dashing them against the stones, you know? They were doing all types of wicked things, man, behind closed doors. All right? And they didn't even have to do it behind closed doors. They were doing it right in front of your face, you know, so they could get that fear in you, all right, and have you bow down to your master. Okay? 43 says, it says, the stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. Yeah, and that's why you ended up losing your land, because these strangers came about and took your whole entire land, and they got high above you, you see, and brought you low as hell, which ultimately it was Yahawashi that brought you low. Okay? You got 44, it says, he shall lend to thee, and thou shalt lend to him, and he shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. And that's what eventually happened. You know, when we were first here and they first got here, yeah, we were teaching them things and we were lending things on to them. You see, but once that devil got his evilness in him, all right, as the scriptures say, that his never trust thine enemy, because like iron rusted, so is his wickedness, right? Then he ended up taking everything you had. You know what's a good movie to watch? A great movie is the Revenant with what's his name, Leonardo DiCaprio. If you never seen that movie, that's another badass movie right there. You see, and it shows you when the white man came over. All right, he took all the pelts from the Indians. You know, he was trying to rape their women. Okay, mingle in with them. You see, and you guys still want to go out there and celebrate this damn shit. Okay. Hold on. I feel like there was one all the way in the beginning. Yeah, this is 16. It says, cursed shalt thou be in the city, cursed shalt thou be in the field, you know, going into your towns, all right, your fields, cursed in the city, you know, us being in these damn ghettos, which the word ghetto goes to what? The word ghetto goes into the dwelling place of the Jews. That's what the word ghetto means. Dwelling place of the Jews. How about that? You see, you don't see none of these other nations, all right, and these damn little small hatters in the ghettos. Okay, they living good. The only ones that are stuck in the ghettos on top of each other is the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay, and cursed shall thou be in the field. You know, it says, cursed shall thou be, shall be thy basket and thy store. All right, because everything is taken away from you. All right, I could have swore there was one where it says, cursed be that you will be cursed in the land. All right. Matter of fact, this goes with what we was just reading. This is 21. It says, the Lord Yahweh shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee till he have consumed thee from off the land, whether thou goest to possess it. Yeah. NLT says the Lord Yahweh will afflict you with diseases until none of you are left in the land you are about to enter and occupy. You see? And that's what the white man brought over, man. The white man brought over literally, okay, a bunch of diseases that you never had, because we were living off the land and we were living off of herbs, you see? So, you know, you didn't have to worry about no diseases, okay? That's right. That's right. He wiped out all the buffaloes. and Reuben couldn't eat and live off the livestock and hunting. Exactly. Same thing with Gad. All right, and all these other northern kingdom tribes. All right, because we have so many different types of tribes, man. You know, and then they got pushed down to South America. You know, they kept getting pushed out more and more. You see, that's why we're all scattered throughout the Americas. All right, down now most of us is down at the South America. All right, but in North America, we don't have anything left. All right, like I said, I believe it's like all the way by Wyoming. They got a piece of Indian reservation left when the whole entire North America belonged to us. You see, you have let me see what else is in here. One second. I went past all these already. Yeah, this going into what the brother was saying, right? This is 31. All right. It says your ox will be butchered before your eyes, but you will not eat a single bite of the meat. Your donkey will be taken from you, never to be returned. Your sheep and your goats will be given to your enemies, and no one will be there to help you. You see? They was taking because hey, when you're blessed, right? You're blessed with when you have slaves, when you have land, you know, when you have sheep and goats. You see, look at Job. When you go into Job's story, right? He was blessed, man. That man had everything. All right, until the Lord started taking everything away from him. Okay, he took away everything from his land. He took away all his oxen, all his sheep. All right, and then he became very low. Without any of those, he lost all that, man. You see? And then, you know, he got hit with boils. All right. It's almost like that was a representation of what our people, the Northern Kingdom, was going through when the time of Christopher Columbus came, man. Those exact damn things. You see? They were getting, he had friends that were giving bad advice. All right. Just like the Indians thought that the Pilgrims were good friends with them, but they were giving them bad advice, man. At the end of the day, you see, matter of fact, when you go into the 58th chapter, 55th chapter of Isaiah, it speaks about that, man. All right. I mean, did I say Isaiah? So like I meant to say Psalms 55. This is Psalms 55, right? And let's take it from. Let's just take it from let's take it from the top 2. Attend unto me and hear me. I mourn in my complaint and make a noise because of the voice of the enemy, because of the oppression of the wicked. For they cast iniquity upon me, and in wrath they hate me. My heart is sore, pained within me, and the terrors of death are fallen upon me. Yeah, this is what our people were going through, man. You know, terrors of death, you know, were constantly falling upon them all day long, because this devil came over and wanted to take over everything that he saw. You know, another perfect movie to watch is, believe it or not, is a goofy ass movie, but I grew up watching it. You know what I'm saying? Disney movie. You go to that movie Pocahontas. Yeah, that's a fire ass movie. That's a fire movie to watch now as a grown up, along with the Moses also. You know, because they're really actually on pretty much on point with what they're saying. You see, but if you ever seen that movie, that Walt Disney movie Pocahontas, it even tells you in that movie, you know, you had the chief was saying that these white people were dangerous, to stay away from them. There was no coincidence that Disney done put that movie out, because they know exactly what he did. You see, they know what they did through the spirit. You know, another movie is Avatar. Avatar is another good movie to watch. You know, you see how they, you know, how the white man came and destroyed all of their land and took everything they had that was riches, you know, took all their resources, came down and started knocking it down with all types of machines. You see, that was definitely a representation of the time of Gad, man, of the Northern Kingdom. Okay. It says fearfulness and trembling are come upon me. Horror and has overwhelmed me. And I said, oh, that I had wings like a dove, for then would I fly away and be at rest. Lo, then would I wander far off and remain in the wilderness. Salah. I would hasten my escape from the windy storm and tempest. Destroy, O Lord Yahawashi, and divide their tongues, for I have seen violence and strife in the city. Day and night they go about upon the walls thereof. Mischief also and sorrow are in the midst of it. Wickedness is in the midst thereof. Deceit and guile depart not from her streets. For it was not an enemy that reproached me, then I could have borne it. Neither was it he that hated me, that did magnify himself against me, then I would have hid myself from him. But it was thou, a man mine equal, my guide and mine acquaintance. We took sweet counsel together and walked onto the house of Yahweh in company. Let death seize upon them, and let them go down quick into hell, for wickedness is in their dwellings and among them. As for me, I will call upon Yahweh, and the Lord Yahweh shall save me. Evening and morning and at night and noon will I pray and cry aloud, and he shall hear my voice. He has delivered my soul in peace from the battle that was against me, for there were many with me. Yahweh shall hear and afflict them, even he that abideth of old, Salah. Because they have no changes, therefore they fear not Yahweh. He put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He has broken his covenants, and that's what they did. See, they were at peace with them, right? They tried to make peace when they came to the land, right? Gad, the northern kingdom, was making peace with them, but they ended up breaking their covenants anyway, man. Just like this devil does today. He constantly breaks covenants, man. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but he imagining how to throw thee into a pit. Okay, what does it say? The next verse. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. You see. So here it is that they already have broken the promises. They betrayed him, right? They were taking everything that they were doing. I mean, that they had. They were basically ruining the land, okay? Bringing a whole bunch of violence behind closed doors, okay? And this was a Psalm of David at the end of the day, okay? So he's telling you through the Spirit what was going down, okay? It says, cast thy burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. You see, and this is why you have to have the name of the Lord, man, because you're able to, you know, call upon that name in the time of affliction, the time of trouble, and the Lord know how to deliver you from the times of trouble, man. It says, but thou, O Yahweh, shall bring them down into the pit of destruction. Bloody and deceitful men shall not live out half their days, but I will trust in thee. Okay. But again, this is what they were doing, man. You know, making peace treaties, breaking the covenants. All right. And then next thing you know, this devil got war in his heart and he trying to backstab you when you're not looking. All right. Now he's taking your land. Now he's taking your goods. Now he's taking your women. He killing off all your children. All right. Which they were basically trying to do an ethnic cleansing, man. Ethnic cleansing is to do away with a particular race, you know, showing you what this devil was about. All right, let's go back into that chat, a little bit of that chat. So it says 200,000 to 1 million Taino deaths on Hispaniola alone within a few decades. While Columbus did not personally kill all these people, his policies and rule directly enabled the system that caused their destruction. Columbus did not personally kill millions, but the system he created led to the near extinction of the entire indigenous populations in the Caribbean, resulting in hundreds of thousands and possibly over 1 million deaths. Okay. It says, calling it slaughter oversimplifies it, Historians often describe it as genocide, ethnic extermination, you see, ethnic cleansing, or demographic collapse due to the colonization. Okay? And you can only imagine, all right, how much more he did after that, man. You see? Until this day. Imagine how much more he's doing till this day. Okay? We have way more people living on earth than there was in that time. You see? And this devil's always trying to depopulate in a whole nother manner. He could depopulate you in so many aspects of life because he knows how to hold things down through every aspect of life, man. He makes a diligent search, so he can attack you from any angle possible. Okay, this is why these nations conspire against you. They sit together at a round table and conspire against you from every different type of aspect they can get to you at, man. If they don't get you with disease, they'll get you through the food. If they don't get you through the food, they'll get you with medicine. If they don't get you through medicine, they'll get you with music. If they don't get you with music, they'll get you through the educational system. They'll get you through so many different ways, all right, and get you taken out the way, all right, because you have no knowledge of the Lord. That's why the Lord said, my people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. And because that has rejected knowledge, the Lord has been rejecting you all these time, this whole entire time, until this day. That's why we're still in captivity to this day. People can't wrap their heads around that when we tell them, bro, you in captivity, you a damn slave. You know? Oh no, I don't see no chains, I don't see no shackles. You're mentally enslaved. They don't got to put the shackles on you no more. All right, they done took your whole spirit from your mind. They done beat it out of your ass to the point where you have been discontinued from your heritage, as the scriptures say. Okay? They done brainwash you so much with all these different philosophies and all these different books that our people don't know who they are. That's why they say, if you ever want to hide something from a nigga, put it in a book. A nigga ain't gonna read. You see? But a nigga will pick up on a damn holiday and want to celebrate it, not understanding why they're celebrating it. You see? Every year you got our people, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans celebrating this shit, and they're just, they have no understanding of what that turkey represents, what the sitting around the table represents, singing all these vile-ass songs, praying to the Lord. You see? The Lord, let's grab that real quick. This is, where's that in? Judgement. This is, come on, man. Thing is acting stupid right now. This is Amos 5:24, and it says, 1 second. Let me go up a little bit. This is, I'll take it from 20. Yeah, 20. Shall not the day of the Lord Yahweh be darkness and not light, even very dark and no brightness in it? I hate, I despise. You listen to that. I hate, I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. All right, because here it is. These devils think that this is something serious. Our people that are 2/3 really think this is a serious holiday. Oh man, we got to prepare ourselves for Thanksgiving. This is a time of us coming together as a family, and then tomorrow you motherfuckers will be arguing again and get down each other's throats. As a matter of fact, every time we celebrate these wicked ass holidays, the Lord turns up even more. Right now, I'm in Jersey. It's pouring out here right now. You know, as this word is coming out. All right, showing you it's going to be a shitty ass day tomorrow. And it's supposed to pour the whole entire day. And here it is, people are still gathering themselves up, you know, get drunk as hell. Now you're going to get in your car while it's raining, possibly crash your car into a damn tree, you know. People get drunk as hell, and then they start arguing with their own family members. There's always that one family member that kills it all, that one demon. Then the demons hop on each other. You know, next thing you know, you arguing, everybody, oh man, we were supposed to be a family and bringing themselves together, you know, And ultimately, that's just Yahawashi bringing a whole lot of confusion and destruction to your family, man, because you're doing wickedly. You know, you're gonna sit there and eat a whole damn pork roast, all right, when the Lord done told you in the Levitical law not to eat no abominated foods, man. Got a whole spiral ham with pineapples on that shit. 3 of them at the table at that. And then you're gonna pray over it. See how wicked it is? It says, I despise your feast days. I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. It says, though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, yeah, because y'all gonna pray on it. Here it is. Oh, this is for the Lord. Thank you, Lord, for bringing us together. Okay. It says, I will not accept them. Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts. Thou take thou away from me the noise of thy songs. Yeah. While y'all doing all this and having a good old time, you got all these bugged out songs being played out. You know, a bunch of Thanksgiving songs trying to bring each other together with it. All right. And depending what type of people you are, you know what I'm saying? Some of y'all listening to some violent ass music, you know, some of y'all listening to some fertility music, a bunch of R&B, let me make babies on this day type music. See, and then you create little monsters. Okay. The Lord not trying to hear none of those songs, man, because you're supposed to be singing songs of Yahawashi. All right. The scriptures say, knowing the times that we're in, what manner of persons you ought to be in holy conversation and godliness. Right. The Lord said in Ecclesiastes that the heart of the wise is in the house of mourning. All right. But the heart of fools is in the house of mirth. And that's what these people constantly doing right now. They all getting ready for tonight to go party. And what's crazy is now it ain't even like back in the day. When I was younger, I remember when Thanksgiving, everything was closed. Clubs, bars, all that shit. Now they got clubs open, bars open from 5:30 to 10:30, so you could be home by 11 o'clock. That's bugged out. You know, Black Friday. It's not even Friday yet, but they got Black Friday popping right now in Walmart. Starting on a Wednesday, so your ass ain't got to be home with your family. They want you to be out instead than you being with your family. So it's not even like back in the day. It's not even a family event anymore. You see? To them, it's just another day of partying. All right, which again, you should have been, you know, sitting down at no table with your family anyway, doing this wicked ass holiday. All right, but at least back then they were doing it it was more of a family event. Okay. It says, take thou away from me the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melody of thy viols. But let judgment run down as waters and righteousness as a mighty stream. So the Lord, all right, again, the title, while y'all preparing these turkeys, the Lord is preparing straight judgment for y'all this whole week. This whole week is going to be a whole watch. Watch when you wake up tomorrow, all right, after tomorrow in Thanksgiving, all right? Watch the news. Watch it closely of how many different types of crazy ass scenarios happen that bring death and judgment. A lot of car accidents, a lot of burnt houses, you know, a lot of families killing each other, you know. The block is hot with a bunch of murders, a lot of overdoses. This is what you're going to see when you turn on that news, because judgment is running down. You see, the Lord is preparing these spirits that are created for vengeance, all right, that they appease the wrath of him that made them, all right, when they can't wait to go out there and to do what they do. Death angels, man. The Lord said in Psalms, the 78th chapter, right, verse 49, when he sends out, when it comes to his indignation. Let me just grab it real quick. This is Psalms 78 and 49, right? He cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath, and indignation and trouble by sending evil angels among them. You see? So a whole bunch of death angels are being prepared for this whole week and for the rest of the time being, because right after this comes Christmas. You see? And then after that, everybody preparing themselves for New Year's. And the days are going by like this fast. The days are being shortened for the elect's sake. All right. So believe it or not, Thanksgiving gonna come like that tomorrow, and then it's just gonna feel like it comes in the next couple hours. Here comes Christmas. You look at it when you go to the stores. It's not even December yet, and these niggas already had a bunch of props out for Christmas when Halloween ended. Go figure that. You see? That's how wicked these damn devils are. They just start messing with your mind right off the rip and preparing you for a bunch of wickedness. Okay? Let me grab this. This is Isaiah, the 1st chapter, verse where's that at? Give me 1 second. 13. It says, let's take it from 10. It says, Yahweh has had enough. Hear the word of the Lord Yahweh, ye rulers of Sodom. Give ear unto the law of our power, ye people of Gomorrah. All right, talking about you in America, man. Okay? Because this place is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. To what purpose is the multitude of your sacrifices unto me, saith the Lord Yahweh? I am full of burnt offerings of rams and the fat of fed beasts, and delight not in the blood of bullocks, or of lambs, or of he goats. When ye come to appear before me, who has required this at your hand to tread my courts? Bring no more vain oblations. Incense is an abomination unto me. The new moons and Sabbaths, the calling of assemblies, I cannot away with. It is iniquity, even the solemn meeting. Yeah, because you had our people, all right, because they were into these different philosophies. They weren't holding these things down right, man. The new moons and the Sabbaths. You got niggas that say, oh, Sabbath is from Friday to Saturday. It's always Friday to Saturday. It's on some bug shit. All right, not understanding the scriptures, man. As the scriptures say, ye are not knowing the scriptures. All right, when the Lord broke down how the Sabbaths are for you. Okay, it says, your new moons and your appointed feasts, my soul hated. They are trouble unto me. I am weary to bear them. So if the Lord's telling you that, man, it's because he's tired of seeing all these different holidays being played out, man, and you not turning back to the Lord, to the real holy days. See, these are called holidays. The Lord has holy days. You see? And those holy days are to be sanctified, man. Are to be done with respect. You see? And these people could care less, man. They'll throw Yahawashi's holy days away for some heathen ass holiday that has a wicked ass meaning to it, man. And it ain't doing nothing but bringing a bunch of dead man spirit on your ass. Okay? It says, I am weary to bear them, and when ye spread forth your hands, I will hide mine eyes from you. Yet when ye make many prayers, I will not hear. Your hands are full of blood. Wash you, make you clean, put away the evil of your doings from before mine eyes. Cease to do evil, learn to do well, seek judgment, relive. All right. Oh, I mean, Salakia, huh? Am I saying that right? Relive? Relieve. Yeah, damn. That should look crazy as hell to me. Right? It says, oh, my bad. It says relieve. Right? Relieve the oppressed, judge the fatherless, plead for the widow. Okay? So the Lord told you to what? To hate the evil and love the good. Okay? He told you to break up your fallow ground. Let's go to that real quick. Hosea 10 and 12. sow to yourselves in righteousness, reap in mercy, break up your fallow ground, meaning that hard head of yours, break it up, man. You're supposed to break up that hard head that you got, and when you break up ground, man, you're breaking up the ground to make good soil so you can grow, so you can plant a seed in it, and then you can grow. You see? The Lord telling you, break up that fallow ground, that hard ground that you got, so you could turn your mind into good soil, so he could plant the seed of righteousness in you. And you can learn, all right? And when you learn, all right, you keep watering that garden. You keep watering your mind with this water, with this truth, all right? You keep sanctifying yourself with this water, the true baptism, as the scriptures say, all right? Now you are clean by the word which I have spoken unto you. How should a young man cleanse himself, right? How withal should a young man cleanse himself? By taking heed of the word. And then when you take heed of the word, all right, out of your belly flows rivers of living water. You see? So he's telling you to break up that fallow ground so you can make it good soil, and he could plant that seed of truth in you. Seed of righteousness. Right? It says, break up your fallow ground, for it is time to seek the Lord Yahweh till he come and rain righteousness upon you. Yeah, because when he come and rain, all right, he gonna water up that ground, that soft ground, and you're gonna be able to grow. Okay, according to the scriptures, it says, but you have plowed wickedness, you have reaped iniquity, ye have eaten the fruit of lies, because thou did trust in the way in the multitude of thy mighty men. You see? But you know, you done caught yourself, all right, you know, with all these philosophies and all this wickedness, all right, and all you have grown is the fruit of lies. All right, and when you grow in the fruit, when you grow fruit of lies, eventually your tree is gonna wither. All right, and that's what ends up happening. They wither away and never receive this truth. Okay, because they truly didn't believe. All right. Let me grab another. Matter of fact, I got so caught into talking. Let me grab another. Hold on, real quick. Another video I had. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Right here.
But for us, it marked bloodshed and betrayal. Our people were wiped out while they told you Thanksgiving was peace and unity, but for us it marked bloodshed and betrayal. Our people were wiped out while the world celebrates the lie every year. They do not teach you that Thanksgiving follows the Pequot massacre, where our entire families were burned alive and shot down while prayers filled the night sky. Your holiday hides the truth of scalp bounties, where our heads were traded for money and our tribes were hunted while leaders called it justice. Thanksgiving celebrates land stolen through broken treaties, forced marches, and starvation. Our people were pushed from our homes while others feasted.
Yeah, see, that's why the scriptures say, woe to the bloody city that is full of lies and robbery, man. Everything here was built on the bloodshed of Israelites, on the backs of Israelites, man. Everything here was built on straight lies, man. This devil tried to say he was the founder of the land. They teach you that shit in school, man. All that nonsense about, oh, Christopher Columbus was a great man. He came and he found the blue ocean, over the blue ocean, and he came and he found America. He didn't find nothing. He was infatuated with the scriptures. He was infatuated with 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, all right? And he came over here to see if it was true that the northern kingdom was here, man. And what did he find? He found our people here. All right. And because we were being wicked as hell, all right, doing things that we need to be doing, the Lord put us in the hand of our enemies. Okay.
Our families were torn apart by a system meant to break our culture and silence our voices. Those places were not schools, they were tools of destruction. They never speak on what those blankets carried or how they harmed our people.
Yeah, all them damn blankets they brought over here was just straight diseases, man. Man-made, created diseases that they carried themselves, because that's what this damn devil is. See, this is why we need Yahawashi. What did the Lord say in Ecclesiasticus, the 10th chapter, right? All right. He said, the physician cutteth off a long disease. This is what they've been this whole time, man. A straight disease, a cancerous disease that continues to spread. All right. That's why evil is all over this earth. because it's cancerous. It's like it spreads everywhere, you know. Even though these devils are the smallest of the heathen, all right, and we're the multitude, okay. It goes to show you how something that's so diseased and so wicked, all right, could spread through billions of people around the world. You know, that's why once you take them out of the way, okay, once you take out the disease, the main variant, all right, you don't have to worry about it no more because the source is gone. You see, the source is going to be taken out of the way, never to be ever seen again. So we won't have to worry about us going through captivities, catching diseases no more, constantly being in tears, constantly seeing bloodshed, you know?
Through the cold while others feasted. Every year they gather to celebrate while our truth sits in the shadows. They enjoy the feast while we remember what it cost us. We survive the darkness and the lies. The truth is rising now and our voice is returning with power. We waking up now. They told you
got another one too, real quick.
Y'all ain't gonna learn until y'all are halfway there.
And look, like what this lady was saying straight up, that's just wild, man. They out there, here it is. We're in a time that Bill Gates done brought all this 3D printing of meats. All right, he out here putting all these lab meats that he did. Now everything is bioengineered, man. That shit is sad as hell because the things that I like the most, little snacks and shit that I like eating, I like my little sweets. I can't even eat that shit no more, man. I look at the damn fucking ingredients and the shit saying bioengineered, and I'm sitting there with a tear in my eye, like, damn, I can't even enjoy a damn sweet. A sweet that I had that I done ate all my life. Can't even enjoy it because it's bioengineered now. You don't know what the hell is being put in there. You know? This is why he's taking up all the farms, you know, to serve you this bioengineered meat. On top of that, they're putting, you know, human DNA, if you know what I mean, trying to turn us into cannibalistic traits, you know, have cannibalistic traits by eating the food that they have, man, which makes perfect sense of why there's never cemeteries being built. Now, here it is that thousands and thousands of people die a day, all right, but you never see cemeteries being built for these people, man. There's always the same damn cemetery you see. What the hell they doing with these bodies? They taking them out the caskets. They're making a profit off of all these bodies, man, and they putting that shit in a grinder. All right, you had I forgot what his damn name was. I could care less, but you had some bugged out rabbi that went viral. Rabbi Finkelstein, whatever you want to call the asses. Okay, he was telling you, you know, what do they do with the goyim? Because that's what they call us, goyim. Goyim being outsiders, you know, when they the true outsiders. You know, but they take us. This is why our children go missing, you know, especially around this time, too, around the winter solstice. From Halloween all the way to New Year's, kids go missing of our people all over the world by the hundreds. And what you think they doing with them? Sacrifices, rituals, putting it in your meat, you know. He said it right in the video. He said, we got to make shekels. And also we make shekels and we put them in the hamburger style and we put them in the hot dogs and we put them in the sausages, and that's what you love for breakfast and that's what you love for dinner, you know, and it's true. That's why they feed you a McDonald's and shit. Because that's all they're putting in them foods, man. It's not even real food no more. See, at least when I was a kid, I got to be real with you. When I was a kid, when these things were around, shit, you went to McDonald's and you got a real burger. You would see somebody in the back flipping that shit, you know, putting some real cheese and watching the cheese melt with the bun and everything. Now, they just wrap that shit, put it in the microwave. It comes from the freezer. They wrap it up and boom, gone. Here it is. Put it in your little McSmile bag, okay? And you take off with a happy smile. You see? Nuggets all look the same. Not one nugget is different from the other. They identical, every single one of them. You see? And this is what they keep doing in front of our faces, man. Let me grab another. I think I had an article. I'm pretty sure it was. Yep. It's an article. It says hundreds Look, this is the Lord right here, man. This is the Lord stopping all this nonsense. It says hundreds of Thanksgiving turkeys. Hold on. It's loading up now. It says hundreds of Thanksgiving turkeys. Come on, man. Do I really got to do all this extra? Can't even go into an article nowadays without going through 1,000 different things to get into the article. There you go. It says hundreds of different turkeys, right? 100 of Thanksgiving turkeys meant for the needy families, stolen. Literally. Hundreds of Thanksgiving turkeys meant for the needy families stolen. Why? Because the Lord trying to end all of this shit out here, man. He don't want to see it. He tired of it. A box truck filled with turkeys for needy families was taken in California. Right? It says people working with the nonprofit UR Important Foundation were sorting food donations when someone climbed into the truck that had hundreds of donated frozen turkeys inside and drove away. And I can't even believe that, bro. Because what the hell? Who the hell in their right mind gonna run around with a bunch of turkeys? However they stole it. Did they steal the whole box truck? Yeah, he said inside and drove away. Okay. But still, like, if you ain't gonna be caught, and if he got away, man, that wasn't nobody from the hood. That wasn't none of our people. That was just Esau doing what he normally do, doing some wicked ass deed. You see, just to piss people off. Remember, here it is. We're in a time of people losing their SNAP benefits. It was already ruined because people ain't got their SNAP benefits coming in. You see. So how much more the people that already on edge because they ain't got no SNAP benefits and now they needed a damn turkey and now they're getting stolen from. You see? That's the Lord. Let me grab that real quick. This is Isaiah 3:1, right? The Lord doing what he's supposed to be doing, man. Isaiah 3:1, and it says, "For behold, the Lord Yahawashi, the Lord Yahweh of hosts, does take away from Jerusalem and from Judah the stay of the staff, the whole stay of bread and the whole stay of water." Okay? The NLT says, "The Lord Yahawashi, the Lord Yahweh of the heavens armies, will take away from Judah and Jerusalem everything they depend on, every bit of bread and every drop of water." You see? All these things are being taken away from you for a reason, man. All right? It says, let's go back to this little story. It says the team that had been working left the truck during a short break. When they returned, it was gone. And all 475 frozen turkeys, all right, they all just ran away. Okay, and 61 vegan turkeys were taken according to KCAL. Foundation founder Alexa Oliver said she and her children went to stores in the area trying to replace what was taken. Please. It says, we're gonna get these what we can afford and go to a few other Walmarts. All right, and that's the worst place you could go right now is to these Walmarts, because that's where all this weird ass food is coming out of. You know, all this bioengineered food, lab turkeys, you know, one of those type of turkeys that when you literally put it in the oven and you go to base it and touch it, it's going to go, it's going to start talking to you, you know. It says an anonymous donor also pledged to help. Oliver told KABC that they still went on with the food distribution. However, the foundation said on Wednesday, within the past 2 days, we have been able to provide almost 200 turkeys to the families, as well as the turkeys promised to other pantries and churches. All right, and that's the last thing you want to do is be taking them from some churches, man. That's called idol food. These devils will prey on that shit. Then when they give you the turkey, you can't just pull up to the church and get a turkey. You know, they're gonna try to brainwash you. Hey, well, you know, we'll be here gladly to help. You know, we need you to start coming to the church. Can we just pray upon you? Start putting a whole damn wicked ass prayer on top of your head. You know, now you eating their turkey that they don't pray for in the church. You know, literally, it's called idol food. It says the foundation set on November 26th, according to USA Today. The mission is almost complete. The mission of what? You know how many people are starving? So in total, let's see, it's 200 turkeys that they finally got back with, right? But there was 475 turkeys before that, so that's 675 plus another 61. Okay, you're talking about 750 turkeys about when there's millions of people starving right now, literally. So what complete mission did you do? You know, not a damn thing. It says the mission is almost complete, and thanks to God and the wonderful community support, all 500 families will be fed. Okay, sad as hell, man. Let me you know what? Let me see something real quick. Let me see what I see in Thanksgiving updates here. Oh, that's another thing. You got the Thanksgiving parade, the Macy's parade about to be popping off tomorrow. Look, and it's pouring. It's gonna pour tomorrow, heavy. I hope it pours to the point where they can't even walk down the street. Nobody even goes to them parades anymore. The mirth of the land is gone. You see, nobody can enjoy these days anymore. You know, because we're in such turmoil in America. All right, America's on such edge that you can't even have a big gathering of people anymore, because you got a bunch of numbnuts that are running around ready to, you know, start killing people in masses. You know, we're in war with Iran when we got a bunch of sleeper cells up in here. You know, these niggas looking for a way to kill a bunch of people at once. And you want to gather up in a parade at that, you know? This is, let me see, updates. Thanksgiving updates. Let's see what they have here. Put that in and a bunch of bullshit will come out. It says Thanksgiving holiday travel and latest weather forecast. You see? And here it is that a lot of people canceled flights. A man shall desire to go to another city and shall not be able to. You know, the Lord cutting all that. He's been cutting these flights for the past month. People can't even jump on planes anymore. You more than stupid to jump on a plane in these days. You better take your ass in a rental, you know. Scriptures talk about how pray that your flight be not in the winter, you know, which meaning your escape, you know. A whole bunch of wicked, you know, things are happening with planes, man. People are just falling from the damn sky because you ain't got enough workers out there to be taking care of these planes, making sure that they got they oil change. Like the shit is a car, you know. Make sure your brakes work, you know. Make sure the gas pedal is working. You know, people just literally falling from the skies. And this is all of Yahawashi, just, you know, basically dead in all these damn holidays, man. All right, you had people trying to celebrate Halloween around my way, bro. I ain't never seen Halloween so dead. I mean, so dead. Like, oh man, like nobody opening their door to give candy. You see like one or two dumbasses walking down the street with their kids, you know, with a little damn costume on, and there's nowhere to go. It's like, where the fuck you getting candy from? But they'll do it just because, oh, it's my baby's first Halloween. You know, this is my baby's first Thanksgiving. You know, it says Thanksgiving winter storm live tracker updates as heavy snow to hit. Look at that. It says Thanksgiving 6 hours ago, winter snow live tracker, 2,000 flights delayed, up to 3 feet of snow expected. Aftermath as semi trucks jackknife in heavy snow, basically. You see, this is why you don't go nowhere. Look at this. NFL Thanksgiving injury reports. Latest updates and players to monitor. A bunch of niggas is getting injured. It's beautiful, man. Keep playing around and messing around and finding out. All right, but hey, man, that's pretty much the point. And these people still want to continue on with it. What does it say? President Trump and the First Lady participate in Thanksgiving turkey pardoning. All right, ain't nobody even want to hear that. All right, Thanksgiving. Let's see. Chicago O'Hare Airport issues ground stop. And this is all nonsense, man. Could care less about any of that. All right, but yeah, that's pretty much the point, man. All right. So like it was a little long. I just start talking and getting into a groove and shit. Sometimes I gotta stop my damn self, but that all be through the spirit, you know, because it's just annoying to see these holidays always coming up. You see how stupid these people are, how caught they are in philosophy, man. All right. And don't realize, as a matter of fact, I'll end it with this. All right. With all the scourges that are being brought out for amendment, right? These people still will not turn from their wickedness, man. This is 2nd Ezra 16. As a matter of fact, before I hit that, let me make sure on, because I know I was in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. All right. I want to make sure I hit everything in that. Because, let me see. Yeah, I pretty much hit everything in Deuteronomy 28th chapter. Because a lot of it repeats itself. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let me just end it on yeah, I hit everything on that. So this is 2nd Ezra 16 and what is it at? 19. Let's take it from 17. Woe is me, who would deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows. This is what's happening right now. The beginning of sorrows, great mournings, the beginning of famine, and great death. Yeah, here it is. Everybody still want to try to celebrate Thanksgiving, man. But here it is. A great famine is being brought upon us, man. It says, great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, and the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor always be mindful of the scourges. You see? Every single one of these things are happening upon the earth, man. A lot of judgment, all right? All types of different plagues being brought up, you know, the beginning of famine, all right? And these people still continue in their wickedness, okay? And they're not mindful of the scourges that the Lord is bringing upon this place, and not mindful of the Lord, period. All right, it says, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. You see? And that's why they're still celebrating, because they're caught up in great confusion. The Lord has a strong delusion upon these devils, man. Has a strong delusion upon 2/3 of our people, man. But hey, that's pretty much the point. So hey, Lord willing, that the lesson was edifying. So with that being said, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahawashi, Call Haloim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahawashi, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad, the Akim and the Aquat that was listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing, that the lesson was edifying. To the next one, Shalom. Keep fighting the good fight of faith, enduring as good soldiers of Yahawashi. Shalom.